how old is Learning Matters, Saraswati? I forgot to ask you.
We are over 7 years old now.
Okay. And the impact, the number of students and teachers that you have impacted, if you can tell me a rough number, that's
So,
all.
yeah, I think collectively, I think Tara learners, including teachers and including several colleges as well, where Tata Technologies has been partnering with us to take Tara as well as one of our soft skills program to students in colleges across Karnataka and Maharashtra. So if you include all of the learners on Tara, I think we're well at the 50,000 mark and growing.
Okay, wow, wow. That's really, really beautiful. I'm sure when you set out on this journey, this was not what you were thinking. It was just that, okay, a small impact, or did you have an ambition of lakhs and lakhs of students is who we are going to impact?
You know, that's definitely something that, why would we not want that? Why
Yeah,
would we not have
yeah,
that ambition,
yeah.
right? But to get to a lakh, you have to start with 10, and the 10 has to
True.
become 100 and then 1,000. So you
Yeah.
have to progressively add the zeros to get to the lakhs and lakhs.
True.
So
True.
sort of plodding along, doing our work, and hoping to achieve those numbers. And yeah, I think this is a great platform for being able to spread the word of our work and our mission. And
Yeah, so
yeah,
true.
yeah.
Yeah, and now when you look back on these 7 years and the real hallmarks of each of those years, some of those huge moments, what have been those moments for you in these 7?
I think just the I would say just in milestones like hitting the 1,000 mark of para learners, looking at the scores when we do our post assessments, looking at the scores and how students have improved and their gains from where they were to where they are. I think those are the things that are being milestones for us. But it's also things like and here I'll just bring in our Star Educator Awards, because that's also something that has sort of grown in leagues year over year. So we decided to start doing something, run an annual awards program for teachers and institutions. And we started this 3 years ago. And come every July, August, we start gearing up for the Star Educator Awards, and it always sort of coincides and ends on Teachers' Day. That is our intention, and it's a completely free awards program. Anyone, anywhere can nominate an educator, themselves, if they're an educator, someone else. It could be your colleague, it could be your principal, it could be your child's teacher or professor. It's not just schools, it's colleges too. Any type of educational institution can also be nominated. There are 12 categories. And when we started this, the intention was, I mean, it just seemed like, yeah, this is something we should do, because we're all about teachers, we're all about equipping them. So why not now give them a platform in which they can, bring this much needed love, recognition, honor to those who deserve it. That was plain and simple. That's what it was. And we realized that tier two and onwards probably don't have a platform in which they can do this free of charge. And it's completely, it's sort of for the people, of the people, by the people, kind of thinking. So it's based on voting. So our nominees can spread the word, and we have students, teachers voting for their favorite teacher and all of that. So it's a way to involve sort of your whole community in the process, right? So if it's a principal, then the students get so excited, and the students and teachers are sort of spreading the word to vote for their principal to win, and things like that. So it sort of brings everyone together. But mainly, we realized, when you can have, the Oscars and the BAFTAs and the Golden Globes and all of that every year, I think we should start something like that for teachers, and it's that's all it is. I mean, and you and I, anyone can nominate, and it's worldwide. So we've had some over the 3 years. We've had very interesting winners who have won, from all different parts of India. We've had nominees from Sri Lanka, from Indonesia, because it's all spread on, it's there on social media. Within India, we also use WhatsApp a lot. So really, there's no restriction as long as you fit the bill of an educator. Of course, there are some guidelines that have to be followed, but really, it's to level the playing field in bringing recognition to deserving educators and educational institutions.
And especially now, when we talk about educators, there is the special education category. So, do you have something for special educators as well?
We do. One of the categories is all about those who are working in the special education category. It could be in any form or modality, because as we all know, there is a wide array of different needs, differently abled students, and so you naturally have educators who are trained in very different things. So we certainly have a category for that. We have a category for educators who are making a difference through physical education. Because why ignore your PT sir or PT ma'am, right? You have some very phenomenal PE teachers out there who are really inculcating, the sort of goals of fitness and health and making children fall in love with sports and games. So there's a category for them. And there are separate categories for every academic subject as well, because we realize that if we have only one or two, then the others will feel left out, right? So why is a social studies teacher any less than a science teacher? Or why is a language teacher any less than your English teacher, right? So we have a category for every single one of them. We have a category for school leaders, because very often there are communities in which your school principal or your school correspondent sort of is a champion, right, of change. They're driving so much positive change in their school and through the school in the community. So there's a category for them as well. There's a category for special educators, and so on. So
Yeah. So, is there a number of years stipulated for the person to be eligible to nominate himself or get nominated? As
Uh, yeah, we recommend that an educator should have been working for 2 years at least, and before they can be nominated. And of course, self nominations are as welcome as as any other type of nomination. So we just recommend that they should have been working in the education profession for at least 2 years.
okay, and education needn't necessarily be school alone. Any kind
No,
of education.
it can be any kind of education. Those who are, teachers in the vocational domain, or any of those as well. I think I recently happened to see, and Star Educator Awards are now, by the way, live and open. Nominations are open, and nominations are accepted only until August 27th. So anyone who wants to nominate themselves or others has to do it very quickly. I think if I'm not mistaken, I think a medical doctor who I think heads up some department. Maybe it was orthopedics or something like that. I think someone had nominated a doctor from Gujarat. And it was very nice to see that, because and I thought about it and I said, why not? I mean, this person is probably, as the head of the department, has trained generations of orthopedic doctors to go out there and do a great job. So he or she is a teacher too, right? So there really is no limit on what we mean by a teacher or an educator, and that's why it's called the Star Educator Awards. As long as you're an educator, and you're educating your learners, you can win an award.